First and foremost, the people. The people, you're drawn to the people. And like you said, the mountains. I was a anti-money laundering analyst. So, following the money, following the movement, following, what's happening and seeing how it ends up in the end. Where I think I have an advantage as a GM, there's a lot of moving parts in the dealership, in the industry. So being able to pinpoint different aspects and putting it all together.
Interesting people with interesting stories. The Viva Auto Group has more than 600 employees at all of our dealerships here in El Paso, Las Cruces, Albuquerque, and Santa Fe. And we would like to get to know all of them so you can connect. So when you go to one of our dealerships, you'll say, oh, I recognize that person. I heard about him and I like his story. Today we have Jeff Campbell with us, and he is a general manager with Viva Auto Group. And thank you so much for joining us today, Jeff.
Of course, thank you for having me.
I know a little bit about him because he's very close to my heart. He's married to my daughter, and so I know him at that level a little bit. So we get to know him a little bit more and share some of your background with everyone. So tell me a little bit about, I already know where they met.
But tell me a little bit about your background. You are not from El Paso, but this is your home.
Yes, so originally from Dallas, been in El Paso for a few years now, and glad to be here. The El Paso community has really opened up to me and taken me in as one of their own, so it's been amazing, it's been great, and if I wish I could call it home for forever, but I don't know what the future holds and see where, the future takes us, but happy to be here while I'm here and look forward to what's coming next.
So Jeff and my daughter met in college, and they were both athletes. My daughter played soccer, and you played basketball.
Yes.
So you have that in common, among other things, obviously. But tell me about your life in high school and college, growing up in Dallas.
So as you know, Dallas is a big city. Competition everywhere you go. I was fortunate enough to play high school basketball and soccer. So soccer is actually my passion, but basketball is, what awarded me some things in life. I was able to go to St. Mary's University in San Antonio on a full basketball scholarship. So that I was, happy about that. Did that for 4 years. Started going into other ventures afterwards. Had the opportunity to try out overseas in Spain. So I was able to see some exciting places through basketball. So it's taken me a lot of places. It's instilled discipline in myself and, meeting a lot of other people throughout my journey.
Is basketball what opened a lot of doors for you?
I would say so. It did. Obviously, like I said, the scholarship to St. Mary's, I was able to start my master's degree in Austin at St. Edward's University while I played basketball as well. And, just going to Spain through a pro-am circuit with them, and then just meeting different people throughout my journey, through work or friendships, whatever it may be, and just open doors because you're able to connect with so many different people.
So is this what you use now as a leader, as a general manager with the Viva Auto Group? You learn those team building skills and what it takes, because nobody does anything alone, right? We all know that it takes a village to raise a child. It takes a team to make things successful. So what are the things that you learned playing basketball and soccer and college that you have translated and are using to make your team successful?
So that's a great question. There's a lot that goes into it. I think one of the biggest things is discipline, commitment to your team, because you can't do anything without the others around you. And so, with my success, I'll always say I had a great team behind me. I'd never do anything alone. I'm just the guy that kind of, pushes it forward, but the people underneath me or with me are the ones that, get the day-to-day stuff done. And it's the camaraderie that we have and building people up so they can one day be leaders as well. And, really getting into the weeds of let's do this together. I'm willing to, get in the foxhole with my guys and make sure that they know that I'm in there with them and willing to do the work as well.
When we come back, I'm going to ask Jeff about
some other tough questions. Stay with us.
New year, new opportunities to focus on the future, grow personally and professionally. Viva Auto Group with 10 dealerships in El Paso and Las Cruces is here to help you get on the road and stay on the road to a better tomorrow. Viva has been helping families grow for almost 40 years. We're involved in the community, helping raise money to donate hundreds of free mammograms. We teamed up with the return of the Amigo Air Show to make our community, El Paso, strong. Together, we make a difference because Viva makes it happen. Welcome back to Interesting People with Interesting Stories. We're talking to Jeff Campbell. He is a general manager with the Viva Auto Group and my son-in-law. And very proud of having you in my family and be a part of the growth of our family as well. So thank you for loving my daughter.
Jeff, what challenges, as somebody from Dallas coming into El Paso, what kind of challenges have you faced here?
I would say the biggest thing, and I think is obvious to everybody else, is the language barrier. I'm still learning, but I'm getting there. I can understand enough to get by, but I want to get better at it and be able to speak in that tongue as well. But I would say that's the biggest challenge right now. Other than that, the food's amazing.
He loves Mexican food. He likes my cooking too. I don't get to cook for him very often, but he likes my cooking.
All of it.
Makes me happy.
Yes, the pozole, very good.
Good,
very
green
good.
pozole.
Highly recommend it.
I need to make some, don't I? What are some of the beauty of El Paso?
El Paso has such beautiful mountains, really beautiful weather. The weather is a little wacky in February and March and April, but for the most part, we have pretty good weather. What is some of the beauty that you've captured and that you've noticed from El Paso?
I would say, first and foremost, the people. The people, you're drawn to the people. And like you said, the mountains. I would say my first year or two out here, I would just go outside and look at the mountains for about 5 or 10 minutes, just take it all in and experience that. And I'm a golfer. I'm an avid golfer, so I try to play once a week. So just having the beautiful weather throughout the year. Obviously, the wind can get into some of that, but just having that beautiful weather throughout the year allows me to play almost 9 months out of the year. So that's amazing.
So the people and weather, yes, of course. You play golf, you play a little bit of soccer, and I know you've been on some basketball teams because I've gone to see you as well here. How is that?
It's fun. It's also a little eye-opening that I have now become the old man. I am now the old man in the gym. They called me the OG or, old school, so that hurts a little bit, but I still got a little game left. I'd like to give a shout out to Sun City Sports Lab. That's where I played most of my basketball. When I first got out here, they asked me to join their team, so that's how I got I got involved with basketball out here and been able to play in city leagues and YMCA, so that helps me stay in shape a little bit.
Okay, old man. So what do you tell the young kids?
Just work hard. That's all it is. Work hard, be disciplined, and everything else will take care of itself.
Sometimes, you're an example out there on the court. You're an example out at the dealership. You're an example really everywhere you go.
That can be a challenge sometimes.
It is. You always feel like eyes are on you, and so you have to carry yourself to that higher level. But I take on that challenge. It is a challenge, but I like it. I see it as people look up to me, kids look up to me, so it's something that I embrace.
When we come back, we're going to ask Jeff what he sees the next 10 years because he's very young. So when we come back, he'll get to answer that question. Stay with us.
For the cowgirl who wants that upgrade. For the city slicker who likes the bells and whistles. For the mom who needs a third row. And the biker chick who likes to feel the wind in her hair. Viva Auto Group has what every woman wants. Because Viva makes it happen.
And welcome back. Talking with Jeff Campbell, GM at Viva Auto Group. And Jeff, a lot of things change. You've been in El Paso 5 years or around there. Where's Jeff going? Where does Jeff see himself going with all the things that he's learned throughout the years about team effort, about the automotive industry, about yourself as a person? Where is Jeff going?
Man, you weren't lying when these are tough questions. One thing my dad would always say, you tell God your plans and he laughs at you, because you never know what the future holds. You can try to plan as much as possible, but God always has the ultimate plan for you. But for me, I love the car business. I love the relationships it's brought for me. For me personally, now that I'm at the GM level, the next step is, be a dealer principal, owner of a dealership. So that's the ultimate goal, wherever that may be. I gotta take it in strides, but if I'd like to stay in Texas, born and raised, but if it takes me somewhere else, then I'm open to it.
And I'm okay with that too. My daughter can go anywhere she wants. So Jeff, we talked about school and basketball, but you don't. What did you do after you graduated and before you came to El Paso to go to work in the automotive industry? We didn't get to talk much about that.
So very interesting story. After college, after I said I was done with basketball, after my body said it's too much.
Old man.
Old man. I got into banking. So it's an industry that people don't really think about in the financial institution, but I was a anti-money laundering analyst.
Anti-money laundering analyst.
Yes. Yeah.
That's
it's
a mouthful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a big responsibility.
It is. Yes. Big responsibility. We're involved with a lot of things, in the financial world. And it's a lot of, putting the pieces together and making sure you're following. Yes. Like forensics. Yes. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie, The Accountant, with Ben Affleck. Yes. So kind of similar to that. So, following the money, following the movement, following, what's happening and seeing how it ends up in the end. So that's where I think I have an advantage as a GM. There's a lot of moving parts in the dealership, in the industry. So being able to pinpoint, different aspects and putting it all together, I think is what's helped me so far.
So things have really changed on the border. But I mean, when I was reporting, doing a little bit more reporting, so I've always anchored and did a little bit of reporting. I would have to do special reports. We would hear about a lot of these people from Mexico come with a suitcase full of money, pesos or dollars, and buy a car. $50, $60, $70, $120,000 car.
Okay.
That has changed. How has that changed?
That has changed a lot. Just because
You don't accept cash.
We do not accept cash at our dealerships. Just like what I faced in my previous role as an anti-money laundering, we don't know where that money came from, and we don't want to be responsible for any illicit, funds or anything like that. And it could be somebody that's not trustworthy, that we don't know where those funds come or go. So with no cash at the Viva Auto Group.
So that's kind of scary.
It's kind of scary that people, I'm guessing it still happens a little bit, maybe in other industries, that people would carry those suitcases.
And now they probably don't come as often. So you have to say no.
Yes, unfortunately, we do have to say no. But there are other avenues, there are other ways for us to help. So it's not, we're not just turning down anybody. Yeah. But we'll find out a way to help you get into your new vehicle.
My final question before we let you go is if you could have anything, do anything in the world, what that would be. And you get to answer it right after this.
Buen mediodía para ti, Nacho, y para toda la...
Vieja, ya no llegaron los taxis. Mira, vámonos a Viva. Vámonos.
Viva, makes it happen.
So I guess, yes, I've asked you some tough questions, and I just came upon this, something on social media that said if you could see a future you
What would be that one thing, two things, three things that you would just really love to have, really love to do, really?
If money was not an object, it would be to travel with my wife. I would go to the
And
golf
with his
courses.
mother-in-law.
Yeah, she can tag along. It would be to travel. And, that's the beauty of life, being able to see different places and enjoy different cultures. So I could play golf, enjoy different golf courses across the world. And my wife, obviously, would be able to see beautiful places together and enjoy the different food, the different cultures, and be, entrenched in what's going on in those different areas.
That's it.
Yes.
You know what? I'm gonna take that back, because I think the one thing that I would like to do more of would be to have the ability to get on stage and talk about my book. And do like a book tour. So that's probably something outlandish, and that's probably not gonna happen. But you never know, right?
Say outlandish.
But you got to put it in writing, right?
Gotta put it in writing.
So maybe you can put that in writing and tuck it away someday, and then be able to do that and take his mother-in-law with.
Yes.
Anything you'd like to add, Jeff?
No, just grateful for the opportunity to be with the Viva Auto Group. Grateful to have, beautiful mother-in-law, beautiful family, and being in El Paso and being part of the community. Look forward to what's coming and what's in the future.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. And thank you all for watching. Until next time, when we get to talk to more interesting people with interesting stories.
¡Chócala! Porque todo trato debe de cerrarse con un apretón de manos. En Viva Auto Group hacemos un compromiso para que tu compra sea rápida y segura. Puedes comenzar en línea. Encuentra un vehículo nuevo o preusado. Descubre cuánto vale tu trading. Comienza tu solicitud de financiamiento. Y cuando estés listo, visítanos en la concesionaria y sellamos el trato con un apretón de manos. ¡Chócala! Con Viva Auto Group.